Hi Seaway members, it's your PGA head professional Alex Smith back with you today, talking about one trait that all great putters have in common, and that is the ability to keep your wrist quiet and still while the bigger muscles of your shoulders and arms work independently in the putting stroke. You show me a putter that has excess wrist movement, and I'm going to show you a golfer that struggles on the greens with distance control, consistency of strike, and something as simple as start direction. Think about all the different ways the wrist can move in the golf swing. It can move left or right, and what we call extension or flexion of the wrist, up and down, what we call radial or ulnar deviation, or a twisting or rotating of the wrist as well, left and right. Certainly when we're making our full swings, we're going to call upon a lot of those different wrist movements. But when we're putting, outside the exceptions that are few and far between, say you're over in Ireland and may need a little extra pop if you're putting from 40 yards off the green, 99% of the time here in the States, when we're putting, we don't want to see any of that excess wrist movement. We want our wrist to be quiet, and we want to maintain the same wrist angles that we do when we set up to hit a putt. Those don't change. Great way to try this, or at least practice it and see how you're doing, is by spending some time at home in front of a mirror and taking a peek, looking at what's happening, what's going on. The other thing to keep in mind too, while we're doing this, we don't have to grip the club so tightly in order to achieve this. Our hands can still be on there nice and softly, and we can still keep the wrist quiet. Another great idea is to grab a wedge. I have with me here today Titleist SM8 Vokey wedge. We're going to put a ball down. Now what we want to do is strike the equator of that ball with the leading edge of the club. If I get too wristy with my stroke, then there's a good chance that ball rides up the club face, pops into the air. If I get too wristy and I strike above the equator, there's a good chance that ball is going to bounce into the turf, bounce up in the air, and roll along. But if I'm able to maintain use the same grip, same stance that I normally will with a putter, and maintain quiet wrist throughout the stroke, and that ball is going to come off the leading edge nicely, roll along, just like it would with a putter on a green. Try this at home. Again, remember to keep those wrists quiet and still. I promise you, if you work on this, you're going to become a better putter. You're going to see tremendous improvements and gains, especially when it comes to distance control on the greens. That's it for today. We'll be back soon with another tip next time. Until then, take care.